something else we can talk about. You've got your VIP bag of many things. So we might as well talk about this. The VIP bag of many things is one of the VIP rewards that you get. VIP subscribers get an extra little gift every month. They're trying to increase the value of the VIP sub beyond all of the stuff that VIP allows. Like, VIP right now allows you to access your shared banks. VIP access right now allows you to go into any quest at any level. You don't have to do normal, hard, then elite in order to get into it. I have long advocated, like a long time, of telling them in posts on the GDO forums to get rid of all those old ideas and make it into a free game that is 100% available to free players, and then monetize extra stuff. So I think every free player should, as an example of what I'm talking about, have access to your shared banks. And then if you VIP sub, what they should do is greatly increase that shared bank size, whether they add 1,000 slots or 2,000 slots as a result of you VIP subbing. And then when you unsub, let's say you filled your shared bank with 1,000 items, right? You unsub. Well, now you can't put anything in until you pull the items out that are reduced down to the number of slots that you actually purchased when you were free. So as an example, let's say the person bought a couple of the shared bank slots and they have 100 slots when they're not subbed, right? So they'd have to pull out 900 items to get that to their 100 that they owned, and then they could start pulling out of that pool items and putting items back in their shared bank. But they would be able to do that as free-to-play characters. Yeah, ESO is great. I agree with you, Trog. ESO is a great example of that. Lotro also has, they do things much better. I'm VIP sub to Lotro, and it's been a long time since I haven't been subbed, because I, as a beta tester for Lotro, I bought a lifetime. So like my main account is subbed over there. It has been forever. So, but I have played Elder Scrolls Online. A good example of this also, and this not a good game, I wouldn't recommend it, is Fallout 76, where you get access to, you can just go play Fallout 76 for free. I think they do level cap you. I think like you can only play up to like level 20 or something like that. But I think that they should just make the entire game free and then just monetize things like skins, mounts, pets, decos for your strongholds. And then if you want to VIP sub, the great thing about Fallout 76 is that you go from having like some limited account shared storage to getting unlimited. And in that game, because it's a post-apocalyptic roleplay fantasy, you're constantly picking up junk on the ground to kind of craft it into new stuff. And you collect a lot of junk, hundreds of pieces of junk. So having that unlimited bank space really makes it super useful to be a VIP. And I think that would happen here. Do you know what I would do the first day that they announced, like if they made that a thing, VIPs get unlimited shared storage? Bro, I would blast I would log in every single character I have. I would put every single thing I have in the shared storage, and then I would delete the army of bots that I have that carry my NPC storage army. That really 45 of my tunes only exist as a bank to carry junk and the problem with that is I guarantee you I have like 9 copies of things, because it's not like I can access one character's inventory when I'm on another character. So I may have 2 or 3 or 4 or 9 of a different item, but because it's spread out across 40 characters, I have no way. I would have to make a spreadsheet. And see, look, I think that if your video game requires your players to make a spreadsheet, that's just really bad design. So it should be done in-game, or the game should be functional enough to allow players to manage their account in a way that is fun. It's not a chore. Like, I go to my accountant and he has a spreadsheet. I don't want to make a spreadsheet for a video game. Now, I know some people do. Like when I'm doing like Nephra over in Star Wars: The Old Republic, I might make a list of people who've already done it so I don't accidentally relog them in, but that's about the extent of it. When I used to also like buy and sell a lot on the GTN or in GDO on the shard market, because I used to do that all the time. Like that, when I was doing when I came back to actually start playing Ravenloft, for a long time prior to me actually playing, I would just log in and play the shard market and just like that was my entire gameplay. And so I did at the time keep lists of things that I had for sale and how much the highest price was that I sold them for and stuff. But that was a long time ago, and it's a lot of work. And unless you really enjoy that sort of thing, I don't think that that's something that should be built into the game, because somebody's just going to do that themselves, right? But I think that for inventory, I think it would really help. No need for mules anymore if we had that. Yeah, exactly. Access to mules alts while on other tunes. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I think that the most frustrating thing for me is my character, some of them have all their tabs unlocked, but I have no idea what's in the tabs unless was to write down a list. In other words, there's no website where I can go to look at like the virtual items. There used to be, when DDO first launched, there used to be a website that you could go to look at people's gear. I mean, you could see what people were wearing at least, but at some point that website was shut off. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe you guys remember it. This is way back. But I don't know why it was dismantled or why they stopped doing that. It used to be also like you could do that on SWOTOR on a phone app, like you used to be able to. Is that at myddo.com? Yeah, and they just continue that. Yeah, right. I mean, so there are a lot of things that they did. Nice. Yeah, the lotteries. Yeah, I mean, that's old stuff. Hearts of Wood. Yeah, I mean, they're so useful too. Well, that's the other thing. So here's the thing too. Like if I was suddenly made producer or whatever, put in charge of GDO, like I would change some things. Like I don't think that players should have to pay to reincarnate, because I think that having people logged in and playing the game would generate, like, you give players like a legitimate reason to spend money and to want to be online, as opposed to like nickel and diming them for things. Like I have a friend who came back to play, wanted to use a plus 20 heart of wood to make their character into a new character. Because plus 20 hearts of wood are not normally for sale on the store, they could not buy one. People can't sell them on the GTN. They weren't able to play their master plan out that they wanted to do until they completely lost interest and left. And now this is a person who could have potentially spent thousands of dollars in the game. Like, so from my perspective, by them not having the plus 20 heart of wood, they lost not only a player, which they want, right, but they lost somebody who potentially could have spent a lot of money had they been able to do what they wanted to do with reincarnating. So I don't think there should be any. A great example of what I'm talking about, and it's not a really good implementation of it, but Diablo 4, the way you can respec yourself on the fly, they charge you platinum to do it. So like charging people to reincarnate platinum would be okay, but I don't think they should actually charge you real money for the convenience of reincarnating. I think it should just be something that you can do. And I don't think that tying a financial cost to the plus that they have on the lesser hearts makes any sense to me. Like, in other words, you want my money, get my money, like make 1,000 cosmetics, make pets, make mounts, make armors, make skins, give me a stronghold, let me decorate the stronghold, like charge me a whole bunch of money to do that stuff, because that's all like extra. If they made, okay, here's the thing, like I love Star Wars, right? Even though I'm not a fan of like the Star Wars stuff that they're making now on Disney, but I do like SWOTOR as a game, and I like a lot of the old Star Wars games. I like the way Sith and Jedi are dressed. So if they had like an outfit system in this game, I think Lord of the Rings Online is a good example of this, because I really like the outfit system in that game. If I could make like a Jedi outfit in this game or a Sith outfit and I could dye it black, I mean, I would spend money to do that. Like I literally would go above and beyond extra to get it. I mean, I have all the patron coffers because I like some of the stuff that comes out of them. You can see I'm using one of the, because I thought that that looked kind of like a lightsaber, even though it's weird. Like I'm using that. I like cosmetics, right? I've been saying we need a stronghold for years. Like I think that we should have personal strongholds in this game, just like they have in Lotro. Lotro, there's all sorts of personal strongholds, right? So anyway, let's take a look at this VIP bag of many things. Now, when we initially looked at this, we discussed how most of this stuff is crap. So let's take a look and see. Okay, so there is some cool stuff in here, but most of it is just garbage when you come to like value. Like this Ethereal restaurant is good, but it's a single-use item. The object disappears after being used. Cannot be used in raids. You know what that says to me? Garbage. If that was a reusable restaurant that could be used once in any content, I mean, I know they wouldn't allow you to use it in a raid because raids are specific, but you know, that would be really cool. You used one in R6. It vanished though, right? It's not reusable. Yeah, ESO did have a really good crafting and dye system. I agree. I love the ESO character creator. I love the outfitter. I love the stronghold. Like I've said this 1,000 times back when I used to play ESO, although I didn't stream any of that content, but I think that if they were to take the game engine for ESO and gut the backside and put in the DDO rule set, then it would probably be one of the best games ever. Because the problem with ESO isn't how it looks or how it plays, it's the behind the scenes, the combat I didn't like at all. I thought it was terrible. The character progression was not something that I enjoyed at all. So if I could do what I do in DDO, like the gameplay, the combat, the character building, the progression that we have here in DDO, and then they put it behind that veneer of ESO, that would be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Like that would be amazing. Because ESO is a beautiful game. The mounts are beautiful, the characters are beautiful, the models they're just gorgeous, the outfits are great, the dyes look great, the stronghold was super cool. I think my stronghold was underneath a waterfall. It was really, really cool. So so let's get back to this. Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend the Ethereal restaurant. Like, yeah, it's good to have one, but it's a single-use item. You use it up. Same thing with the Flawless Sibiri. Like, you can just pay Astral Shards. You don't need to collect these. You know, if you didn't have one and you didn't want to pay Astral Shards, I guess you could do that. But it's level 17 and higher to swap out a feat. Not super useful. This is probably, I would say, arguably, from what I can see in this list, the most useful if you didn't already have your Sentient items, because 6,000 XP is quite a significant chunk of Sentient XP. It's pretty good. So I think so far that this is the one that I would recommend. I talked a lot about this Glamour Dust. So with 50 Glamour Dust, you could go and buy yourself. I'm not sure exactly how much they cost, and we should probably take a look just as a talking point, so we can actually, you know, test this just to see. So many player houses in ESO. Yeah, it's right. I mean, imagine if you had the option to buy a dozen different houses in DDO. I would own a lot, right? I would be looking to decorate them. I would probably be running raids to try to get decos for them. You know, if they did the same thing here that they did in Lotro, you know, some decos only come out of certain raids, certain group content, certain like things that you run, the delvings or whatever. I think it would just add a whole lot to this game that it needs to have more in-game reasons to run content to acquire those unique items without offering them in the store or as part of like a patron pack. You know what I mean? Like I understand that somebody who works a lot and they come home, they can buy a mount in the store and then ride around on it. That's great. But there's no reason for them to be in the game. Like the developers need to actively give people a reason to log in and log hours. You know, a person who played for 1,000 hours was chasing after specific things. Now in DDO, for most of us, that's the TR train, right? But the TR train isn't everybody's cup of tea. You know, some people don't, they just want to make a bunch of alts. Maybe they just want to log in and play casually. There's a lot of people I know personally who play Star Wars The Old Republic still. They don't raid, they don't do flashpoints, they don't PvP. You know what they do? They log in, they dress up their characters in outfits, and they decorate their strongholds. That might sound like a crazy thing, you know, like, oh, yeah, that's something maybe only a woman would do. But no, dude, I know a lot of guys who really enjoy doing that. It's just some people get a kick out of doing that. I'm one of them. I mean, I do other content in the other games too, but like I always usually, if I can get a stronghold, have a stronghold. I always try to make my outfits look really cool based on like some of the secondary worlds that I like Star Wars or Harry Potter or The Matrix, or you know, like any of these like looks. Like if I can make a character look like Neo from The Matrix, I try. You know, if I can make a character look like a Sith Lord, I'll try. Like I really like the ability. Like it's one of the reasons I really like this elf outfit, because it looks a lot like something that I would see in Lord of the Rings, you know, and I'm a huge fan of that world. Even though we're in Dungeons and Dragons, I like the idea that I could make my character look like Aragorn, you know, or something like that. Like that's, to me, that's really cool. The other thing too that they have to really sort of get on board with is FOMO. Like FOMO, they try to avoid making FOMO, but I think that it makes people play. In other words, like a lot of people do hardcore and they'll try to get the mount, and it's because that's the only way to get the mount. And if you don't do it in that window, you're gonna feel that FOMO, the fear of missing out. You're gonna feel it. So a lot of people will log in and play because they don't want to miss out on something that's only occurring for a short time. And that's one of the complaints I read about those coffers, those patron coffers, whereas when they were first billed to us, it was like, if you don't buy it now, it's never going to be available again. And then like 3 months later, it was available again. And people were like, what the F, man? I thought it was. So that's when you do FOMO, you have to really make it a really good example of actual FOMO is the Spider Cult mask, where people want that now and they like literally can't sell it again, because when they created it and sold it back in 2011 for the Menace of the Underdark, it was part of a pre-order bundle, and it doesn't exist beyond outside of that. So if you miss the pre-order window for that, you can't get it. Yeah, Bottle of Mist for Ravenloft is another great example of that. Or the Black Panther that you got from Menace of the Underdark. There was, you know what? There's a lioness, like a lioness statuette that you can summon like a level 18 lion, and I guess it was like during the summer. I think it was back in what, like 20, I want to say maybe it was 2013 or 14, where if you logged in during the summer and played, you got like a statuette of a lioness. I didn't get that. So I have a friend of mine, he doesn't even play DDO anymore, but he has this lion statuette that I don't have. And I'm like, how the hell did you get that? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I logged in during the summer and they were just giving them to people who were logging in at the time. And so that's something I don't know. Maybe some of you guys have it. Yeah, see, you missed it too. I have the Panther. I don't have the lion. And now they're the same, but there's different skins. But this is what I'm talking about with FOMO. Like FOMO is something that MMOs actually can utilize to capitalize on getting people to log in and play. And World of Warcraft has a lot of this, and there's still a lot of people who play World of Warcraft. So I think for DDO, we need to compel people more to feel like there's a reason to log in and play the game. We need to go talk to Alienway and see how many of those mats to buy a unique item. If that's enough to buy one item, So Aelon Way, the Glamour Smith is right here. I have Glamour Dust. How much Glamour Dust? All right, 40 Glamour Dust, right? Most of the items in here are 40 Glamour Dust. Yeah, 40. I'm not seeing any other. Okay, there's a couple that are 60, like the ninja mask, the top hat. So basically, oh, and there's a couple that are 80. So they do get quite expensive. However, you gain every time you crunch an item, you gain 10 dust. So it wouldn't take you a lot. So in the VIP box, since we're going down this list, like this is a one-time use item that disappears after you use it. If you do a lot of like High Skull Reaper, that might benefit you. But again, with only one use, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not going to last. This here, you can just use shards. I wouldn't recommend this either. I mean, this swap out a feat for 3 levels, and I would say just, you know, it's probably, you can find these in game too. This is super useful if you're still building a weapon with Sentient XP. So I would probably say so far this is very like the best reward in here. 50 Glamour Dust. This guarantees you to buy one of those 40 Glamour Dust items. And if you're a guy who likes the cosmetics, you know, some of these are really cool for 40. Some of them are actually really good. All these violet leaves look really good. The crimsons look okay. The turquoise spirals look really good. The turquoise spirals are actually like, I like the model of those outfits. I just want them to give us the old, like, they used to have like a shadow version of these turquoise, which I want them to add back to the game, but they haven't. So I still have some of the like the dark shadow versions of these turquoise items. I've showed a couple on the stream before, but the Dark Plains items are pretty good. The Dark Beast items are all really cool. Some of the Dark Beast ones are really cool. The Bull ones I don't like. The Cannith ones are okay. They look pretty good. Dark Whirl all looks pretty good. I mean, I have all these. I should show all these. I actually own all of these. You know, I've bought them all over the years. So, like, if you're a person who likes cosmetics, I think that because this is going to be a cosmetic that you have that you can use on any character. So the permanence of the item in this bag of many things, I think the Glamour Dust is probably like, if you're looking for something that you're going to get and it's going to last and you're going to be able to use it on a bunch of different characters, I think that the Glamour Dust is a great choice. But you may be somebody who's been crunching items for a long time, and maybe you already have a few hundred Glamour Dust, so that would be irrelevant to you. And if you're a person who already had all your sentient stuff capped out, well, Mirrors of Glamoring, I mean, it's nice to have. You can make a cosmetic of something, but you can get them in gold rolls. They're not that expensive on the store. I just think it's sort of a waste. So if you needed it, I think it's okay, but I wouldn't recommend that. Same thing with Omni Spell Dust. Like, Omni Spell Dust is okay, but this number should be 25,000, not 2,500, because basically you're replacing all of your mats and you can burn through them really quick. So like 2,500 is not enough for me to say, yeah, take it. If you're the type of person who is already buying Omni Spell Dust and you already had a stack, then yeah, that's just going to augment your existing stack. So go for it, but I wouldn't use it. And then if you are a raider, then obviously having bypass charmers is always super useful. But if you weren't a raider, these are completely useless to you, right? So that's going to be something that you just have to decide. Where I don't do a lot of raiding, and I already have a few bypass timers in storage. For me, it's like they would just go in storage. But if I were doing a lot of like legendary raids or regular raids, I probably would consider taking that. I don't need to worry about Sentient XP. I don't think I'd worry about the Ethereal Rest Shrine because, like, the reality is you could just carry spell point potions. So, likely what I'm going to take is the Glamour Dust, even though I already have a bunch of Glamour Dust. You never know. They may put in more items that we can buy with Glamour Dust. So, I mean, it's just a mat. It's just a material that I'm stocking up. I have plenty of mirrors. Like, so that's basically what I'm going to take. Very underwhelming list, though. very underwhelming list of items for that VIP reward. But I mean, you know, it's free, so we'll take it. We're not going to say no to free stuff.
Where are you going? Hunting for gold that is flowing. Somewhere in the cold world, hid there is no knowing. Hey la, oh la 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 la. We love games, there's a standing stone. Let's make camp. We love games, let's make camp and play more games. Hey la, oh la 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 la. We love games. Where are you going? There's no knowing what magic awaits, what evil is growing. Hey la, oh la la la. Ooh, we love games, there's a standing stone. Let's make camp. We love games, let's make camp and play more games. Hey la, oh la la. We love games. We love games. All crypts is folly. Just play games and be jolly. Magical treasures hide in the dark, so rest and embark. Ooh, we love games, there's a standing stone. Let's make camp. We love games, let's make camp and play more games. Hey la, oh la la. We love games. Hunting on crypts is folly. Just play games and be jolly. Magical treasures hide in the dark, so rest and embark. We love games, there's a standing stone. Let's make camp.